Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're uncorking a really fascinating topic.
Hmm.
The deep connection, really, between wine and romantic celebrations, especially weddings. We've got this great guide here, all about how to, perfectly match wines for the big day, or any celebration of love, actually.
Exactly. And our goal for this deep dive, it's basically to pull out the most crucial bits of info. We're talking selection, serving, pairing, how to use wine to create that perfect atmosphere and really make those unforgettable memories.
Okay, let's start with a bit of history, because this connection between wine and celebrations, it goes way, way back. Think ancient Greece, ancient Rome. Wine wasn't just a drink. It was, well, Dionysus Bacchus. It's
Ah,
kind of sacred, representing joy, ecstasy, fertility.
right. It was central to things like symposia, those lively gatherings.
Yeah.
And really important in Roman weddings, too. Libations symbolize prosperity, that unbreakable union. And the grape itself, a symbol of fertility, family continuity. Look at the sharing wine from one cup, one amphora, that could actually seal the vows.
Wow. So it was deeply symbolic from the very beginning. Then how did it evolve? Christianity must have had an impact.
Oh, absolutely. Wine gained this profound spiritual status, the blood of Christ in the Eucharist, that really elevated its cultural weight. And then, jump to the Middle Ages, and it's a fixture at noble banquets, aristocratic weddings. It signals status, hospitality. Sometimes it was even part of the dowry.
A status symbol. That's quite a shift. Shows how integrated it was. And the Renaissance, that era of art and refinement.
Wine definitely mirrored that. It
Yeah.
became a symbol of sophistication. You started seeing more elaborate glassware, a real focus on specific wine regions.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of the fuel for social interaction at those big wedding feasts, setting the whole tone.
But and then bubbles happened, right? It's a game changer.
Exactly. The 17th century gives us champagne, that sparkle, that luxury. It just instantly became the symbol of celebration. Now, that's pretty much when festive toasts like we know them really took off.
So fast forward to the 19th, 20th centuries, wine becomes more widespread.
Yeah, much more democratized. It basically cements its role as like an essential part of any major event, especially weddings. Its power to, get conversations flowing, relax people, make food taste even better, that made it indispensable for marking big moments.
Which brings us right to choosing wine today. You called it sensory curation in the guide, which I love. What does that really mean in practice?
It means thinking beyond just red or white. It's about using wine to consciously evoke emotions and, really importantly, to reflect the couple's own personality, their story.
Sensory curation.
Yeah.
So, how do different wines play on our senses, psychologically speaking?
Well, think about it. A vibrant, sparkling wine, like champagne, right? Those tiny bubbles, that energy, it instantly sparks joy, excitement, a feeling of occasion, perfect for a toast. Then you take a full-bodied red, complex, maybe a bit earthy. It invites warmth, deeper talk, intimacy, better for, say, the dinner conversation. Flesh whites bring brightness. Sweet wines bring that touch of indulgence, romance. Each style really does have its own temperament.
So it's way more than just the flavor profile then.
Oh, much more. The color you see, the aromas, citrus, floral, fruity, earthy. The feeling in your mouth, that texture, light, rich. And then, yes, the taste components, acidity, sweetness, tannins, minerality. It all weaves together this sensory tapestry for the celebration. Choosing carefully shows, real attention to detail.
And you mentioned personalization. How does that work?
Well, imagine choosing a wine from a region that means something special to you as a couple.
Yeah.
Or maybe a vintage year that marks when you met or got engaged. Suddenly, that bottle isn't just wine anymore. It's like a liquid symbol of your love story, your shared memories.
That's really lovely. Okay, let's get practical. Selecting wine for different moments of the wedding, because it's not a one-wine-fits-all situation, is it?
Absolutely not. Think of the day as a story in acts. Each act deserves its own wine. So for the Brandis, the toast. Sparkling is pretty much non-negotiable, right? Symbolizes that joy, that specialness. Champagne Brut is the classic icon. Fine bubbles, crisp acidity, those complex notes like brioche, almonds, citrus.
But even within champagne, there are options for a more specific feel.
Definitely. You've got Blanc de Blanc that's 100% Chardonnay. Very delicate, elegant mineral. Then Blanc de Noir from Pinot Noir or Meunier grapes. That's a bit fuller, fruitier, think red berries, subtle spice. And for something really special, a Champagne Millésir from a single great vintage year. More complex, can age beautifully. You could even pick one from, say, your birth year for that personal touch.
Okay, but champagne can be pricey. Are there alternatives that give you that same celebratory feel, that same quality method?
Oh, yes. Lots of excellent choices. Use the same traditional method, the méthode traditionnelle. That second fermentation happens in the bottle. That time spent on the lees, the yeast cells autolysis it's called. That's what develops that creamy texture, those brioche toasty notes you love in champagne. So look for Spanish Cava, Italian Franciacorta, often great value. Also Cremant from France, high-quality sect from Germany or Austria, even Beirada from Portugal.
And what if you want something maybe a bit lighter, fruitier, perhaps for a big reception crowd?
That's where Prosecco really shines. Usually extra dry or brut. It's made using the Charmat method, fermented in tanks, which keeps it really fresh, vibrant, and focused on the fruit. Think green apple, pear, white flowers. Super approachable, great for kicking things off. And don't forget Espumante Rosé. The color adds romance, and those fresh red fruit notes, strawberry, raspberry, make it visually stunning and really versatile.
Perfect. Okay, on to the main course. Literally. The wedding dinner. Harmonization Central, right.
This is where the pairing art really comes into play. You've got the menu, diverse guests. You need wines that complement, enhance, but don't dominate. It's like finding the perfect dance partner for each dish.
So let's start light. Starters, fish, seafood, maybe even sushi. What works best there?
Sauvignon Blanc is a classic go-to. It's got that zingy freshness, vibrant aromas, lemon, grapefruit, maybe passion fruit, even a little green note. Cuts through beautifully with delicate fish, salads, goat cheese, seafood. Then you have wines like Albariño from Spain or Vinho Verde from Portugal. That Atlantic influence gives them crisp acidity, notes of green apple, peach, maybe floral hints. Fantastic with oysters, shellfish, citrusy sauces. Surprisingly good with sushi, too.
What about Chardonnay? It's so popular, but seems to come in different styles.
Hugely versatile. An unoaked Chardonnay is all about pure fruit, green apple, pear, citrus, minerality. Great for simple whitefish, light chicken. Then a lightly oaked Chardonnay brings in subtle vanilla, maybe some buttery notes, toasted hazelnut. That works beautifully with roasted poultry, richer fish like salmon or cod, or anything with a creamy sauce. And let's not forget dry Riesling. High acidity, notes of citrus, apple, minerality. It's brilliant with dishes that have a touch of sweetness, marked acidity, or maybe complex fruit sauces.
Okay, that covers the lighter side. Moving up in weight. White meats like chicken or pork, poultry, richer vegetarian dishes?
Here you could go white again, depending on the prep, or move into lighter reds. For reds, Pinot Noir is the star for elegance. It has that beautiful translucent ruby color, complex red fruit aromas, cherry, raspberry, maybe some earthy mushroom notes, subtle spice. Plus, vibrant acidity and really silky tannins. It's incredibly versatile. Roasted chicken, turkey, duck, especially with food sauces, pork, mushroom risotto, grilled veggies, even grilled salmon works.
Is there another red that gives you that kind of lighter, brighter profile?
Yeah, absolutely. Gamay, especially from Beaujolais, it's just so fresh and lively. Bright color, intense, fresh red fruits, cherry, raspberry, again, maybe banana, floral notes. The tannins are barely noticeable. The acidity is refreshing. Great for grilled chicken, lighter charcuterie, veggie quiches. And serve it slightly chilled, maybe 14, 16 Celsius, makes a difference. A young Tempranillo without oak could also work. Fresh fruits, licorice hints, soft tannins. Good for maybe richer white meats or something like a bacala gratin.
And those versatile whites we mentioned earlier could still play a role here too.
Absolutely. Don't count out Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, or dry Riesling. Depending on the sauces, the spices, they can still be a perfect match. It's all about that intensity balance.
All right, now for the heavy hitters. Red meats, game, heartier dishes. What do we reach for?
Now we need wines with more structure, complexity. Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, especially in Bordeaux-style blends, are classic choices. Full-bodied, firm but elegant tannins, rich, dark fruit like cassis, blackberry, maybe some green pepper, cedar, tobacco notes. These are your go-tos for grilled steak, roasted lamb, game-like venison, rich meat sauces. The acidity and tannins really cut through the richness of the meat.
And Syrah or Shiraz. Hear those names used interchangeably sometimes.
Right, essentially the same grape, but different styles often. Syrah from the Rhone Valley in France might be more savory, black pepper, olive, smoky notes, maybe more rustic tannins. Shiraz, especially from Australia, tends to be more opulent. Fruit forward blackberry jam, chocolate, coffee, sweet spice notes, often with softer tannins. Both are fantastic with grilled or smoked meats, hearty barbecues, rich stews, even dishes with a bit of spice.
The source mentioned a key Portuguese grape, too.
Yes, Touriga Nacional.
Yeah.
It's emblematic of Portugal. Makes really rich, complex, structured wines. Firm tannins, but well integrated. Beautiful aromas, violets, bergamot, dark forest fruit, spice, balsamic notes. Perfect for grilled meats with Mediterranean herbs, intense Portuguese dishes, aged cheeses. It's a real standout. And, other great options exist too. Nebbiolo from Italy for complexity, Malbec for approachability, Spanish Tempranillo like Rioja for structure, Zinfandel from California for bold fruit. Lots to explore.
Okay, dinner is sorted. Now, the party. People are mingling, dancing. What
Yeah.
kind of wines keep the energy up without being too demanding?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the party phase, think refreshing, versatile, maybe a bit more budget-friendly too. Keep it fun and easy. Sparkling wines, Prosecco, Cava are almost essential. Keep those bubbles flowing. They just scream celebration.
And rosé seems like a perfect party one, too.
Totally. A dry rosé is a crowd pleaser. Elegant, refreshing, pairs with almost any little bite. That lovely color, red fruit notes, good acidity. It just works. For whites, think light and crisp. Vinho Verde, maybe with a tiny spritz. Pinot Grigio with its mineral edge. Gavi from Italy if you want something elegant but still fresh. Serve them nice and cold.
Any reds for the party scene, or do they get too heavy?
You can definitely do reds, just keep them light and fruity. Things like Beaujolais again, a young down from Portugal. Maybe a simple young Pinot Noir or Valpolicella from Italy. Less tannic, and again, serve them slightly cool, 14 to 16 degrees C. Makes them really refreshing, great with light snacks. And then for the dessert table or the cake cutting, maybe bring out a little Portani or a Moscatel. Rich, sweet, fortified. Just small pours, a lovely, memorable finish. Tawny gives you nuts and caramel. Moscatel is more floral and citrusy.
We've covered the flow of the day beautifully, but let's dive deeper into pairing itself, especially with those more sensual aphrodisiac type dishes mentioned in the guide, and maybe some advanced principles.
Yes, those aphrodisiac connections. The idea is the wine shouldn't just match. It should elevate the sensory experience, enhance that mood. It needs to amplify, not compete.
Okay, give us an example. How would that work?
All right, imagine fresh oysters. Maybe with a squeeze of lemon, a touch of pink pepper, maybe even caviar. What do you pair? A super crisp Champagne Brut Blanc de Blanc, or a vibrant Albariño. Why? That high acidity and minerality cuts the oyster saltiness, highlights its clean flavor. The champagne bubbles cleanse the palate. You want that minerality? Definitely avoid oak here.
Makes sense. What about something richer? The guide mentioned duck breast with a cherry and port reduction.
Classic. For that, an elegant Pinot Noir, maybe one with good fruit concentration, or even a softer, full-bodied Merlot. The wine's acidity needs to balance the richness of the duck fat. Its fruit profile should complement, not clash with, that cherry and port sweetness. You need acidity and fruit that echoes the sauce.
And that intriguing sweet savory one. Fresh figs, goat cheese, truffled honey, pistachios.
Ah, that sounds amazing. Here you'd want something sweet, but with balancing acidity. A Sauterne from Bordeaux, or perhaps an aged white port. The wine's honeyed richness echoes the fig and honey, while its acidity cuts the creamy cheese. Crucially, the wine needs to be at least as sweet as the dish, otherwise it tastes thin or sour. That's a key rule for dessert pairing.
Good rule. And finally, that decadent strawberry dipped in dark chocolate with cayenne and sea salt.
Ooh, complex. For that, something like a Bruschetto d'Acqui. It's a sweet, slightly sparkling red from Italy. Or maybe a Lambrusco Dolce Rosé, or even a sparkling Rosé demi-sec. You want delicate sweetness, vibrant acidity, and those strawberry rose notes in the wine to complement the fruit and chocolate. The slight sweetness and fruitiness will also soften the cayenne's kick. Definitely avoid very dry wines with dark chocolate. The combo can be bitter.
Those are really specific and helpful. Now, stepping back, what are the core advanced principles we should keep in mind for any food pairing?
Okay, let's break down the key ones from the guide. Number 1, balance of intensity. This is the golden rule. Light wine, light food. Robust wine, robust food. Neither should overpower the other.
Right. Don't serve a delicate Sol Meunier with a massive Cabernet. Got it. What's 2?
2, contrast and cut. Use acidity or bubbles to slice through richness or fattiness. It cleanses your palate. Think sparkling wine with fried chicken or that dry Riesling with fatty pork belly.
Okay. And number 3.
3, similarity and complement. Look for shared flavors or aromas. An earthy Pinot Noir with mushrooms. A wine with notes of red berries alongside a red fruit coulis. Echoing flavors creates harmony.
Makes sense. Finding common ground. What about texture?
4, texture and weight. Match the feel. Creamy dish, maybe a creamy Chardonnay. Light, flaky fish, a light-bodied white. And tannins in red wine love protein. The protein in meat softens the tannins, making the wine feel smoother.
Interesting interaction. Number 5.
5, acidity with acidity, sweetness with sweetness. If the food is acidic, like a vinaigrette, the wine needs equal or higher acidity, or it tastes flat. And like we said, sweet wine must be sweeter than the dessert. Always.
Good reminders. Any tricky tastes to watch out for?
Yes, number 6, umami and salt. Umami, that savory taste in mushrooms, aged cheese, soy sauce, can make tannic red wines taste metallic or bitter. So maybe go for a high-acid white or a low-tannin red with umami-rich food.
Hmm,
Salt, though, is often your friend. It can enhance flavors in both food and wine, and even soften harsh cannons in reds.
fascinating. And the last principle.
7, and maybe the most fun, experiment and dare. Pairing rules are great guidelines, but taste is subjective. Try things out. Find combinations that you love. Let the wine choices reflect your personality.
Love that. Be adventurous. Okay, so we have the perfect wine, perfectly paired, but serving it right is crucial too, isn't it? Temperature, glasses.
Absolutely critical. It's all about letting the wine show its best self. Let's start with ideal temperature. It's probably the single most important factor for expression. For sparkling wines, Champagne, Prosecco, Cava aim for 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. That keeps the bubbles fine and the acidity bright. Too cold, you lose aromas. Too warm, it goes flat quickly. Ice bucket for 20–30 minutes, or fridge for 3+ hours.
And for still whites and rosés.
Light whites and rosés like Pinot Grigio or Vinho Verde are best around 8 to 10 degrees C. Enhances that freshness, the crispness, the delicate fruit and floral notes. For fuller-bodied, more complex whites, maybe an oaked Chardonnay or a Viognier, slightly warmer is better. 10 to 12 degrees C allows those richer textures and aromas to come through. Maybe let it sit out of the fridge for a few minutes before pouring.
Okay, now reds. That room temperature myth always confuses people.
Right. It definitely doesn't mean a warm room today. It refers to cool European cellar temperatures. So for light, fruity reds like Pinot Noir or Gamay, you actually want them slightly chilled 12 to 14 degrees C. It lifts the fruit, makes them feel vibrant and refreshing. For full-bodied, structured reds, Cabernet, Syrah, Touriga National, aim for 16 to 18 degrees C. That temperature allows the tannins to feel smoother, more elegant, and lets those complex notes of cedar, tobacco, spice develop. If your room is warm, you'll likely need to chill the bottle slightly.
Good clarification. Beyond temperature, what about decanting? When is that necessary?
Decanting or aeration serves two main purposes. For older red wines, you decant gently, primarily to separate the wine from any sediment that's formed over time. For younger, powerful, full-bodied reds, decanting aerates, the wine lets it breathe. This helps soften tight tannins and opens up aromas that might be closed off right after opening. Could be anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple of hours, depending on the wine.
And glasses. Do they really make that much difference?
They absolutely do. Glass shape isn't just about aesthetics, it's functional. It directs the aromas towards your nose and guides the wine on the different parts of your palate to emphasize certain characteristics. A tall, narrow flute for sparkling helps preserve bubbles and channels delicate aromas. Standard white wine glasses are usually smaller to maintain chill and concentrate fruit and mineral notes. For reds, a wider bowl, like a burgundy glass, is great for aromatic reds like Pinot Noir. It allows the aromas to collect. A taller, perhaps less wide bowl, like a Bordeaux glass, helps soften tannins in powerful reds like Cabernet and channels the wine towards the back of the palate. And dessert-fortified wine glasses are smaller to concentrate those intense, sweet aromas.
Wow, there's a lot of science behind it. And the actual act of serving. Any tips for doing it gracefully?
It's about showing care. Open the bottle cleanly with the right tool. Offer small taste to the host first, just to check temperature and make sure the wine isn't faulty. When pouring, aim for about 1/3 full for still wines, maybe a bit more for sparkling, gives the wine room to breathe in the glass. Serve guests smoothly, keep the bottle tidy. Hold it by the body or base, not the neck. Just maintain a calm, elegant presence. And quick note on storage before serving. Cool, dark, constant temperature, decent humidity if possible, and lay bottles with corks down horizontally to keep the cork moist.
Great practical tips. So we've got the right wine, paired well, served perfectly. How do we make the tasting part engaging and fun for guests, not intimidating?
Right, you want it to be a sensory journey, a shared experience. First, strategic wine selection for the tasting itself, maybe 3 to 5 different wines. Aim for variety. A sparkling, a light white, a fuller white, a lighter red, a fuller red perhaps. Show different styles, maybe explore different regions, say all from Portugal, or a mix of countries. And that personal touch, again, include a wine that means something to you, tells a story.
Good mix. How should you set up the tasting stations?
Keep it clear and elegant. Small cards or labels for each wine. Include the key info, grape, Canalacphus, region, maybe just 2–3 simple tasting notes like crisp apple, mineral, or dark berry, spice, smooth, and the ideal serving temperature. Make the tables look nice, maybe tie them into your overall theme with some flowers or lighting.
And glasses are key here too, presumably.
Crucial. Need plenty of clean, sparkling glasses, maybe 2 or 3 per guest if they're tasting multiple wines. Specific shapes are great if possible, but cleanliness is the absolute priority. No soap residue, no fingerprints. Then encourage people to actually explore the wine, not just drink it. Guide them gently. Look at the color, the clarity, the legs or tears. Smell it swirl gently. First, what do they pick up? Fruit, flowers, spice, Earth. Taste a small sip, let it coat their mouth. Notice the acidity, sweetness, tannins, body, how long the flavor lasts.
Keep it light, right? Not like a formal exam.
It's exactly. Fun, light, educational, and provides spittoons belle de Descartes. Seriously important if people are tasting several wines. Allows proper evaluation without overindulging. Also have simple palate cleansers like plain bread or water crackers, and plenty of fresh water for rinsing and hydrating. Avoid strong flavors nearby that could interfere.
How do you facilitate the interaction and learning part?
Having someone knowledgeable, a sommelier if possible, or even just an enthusiastic friend to guide people is great. They can offer simple pairing ideas with the dinner menu, share little stories about the wines, the regions, the grapes, maybe a fun quiz. Guess the grape, small prizes, and providing little note cards for guests to write down impressions is always a nice touch. Makes it interactive and memorable.
That sounds like a fantastic experience. Okay, let's switch gears slightly for the final stretch. Wine cocktails. How can we use wine creatively in drinks for the party?
Ah, yes, wine cocktails. They're a great way to offer something different, refreshing, and fun. Still celebrating wine, but in a new way. Think classics first. Sangria is always a hit, especially for a crowd. A good fruity red, some brandy or orange liqueur, fresh fruit, maybe some spice. Let it meld together. Delicious.
Classic for a reason. What about some bubbly cocktails?
Absolutely. The Cure Royale is pure elegance. A touch of crème de cassis, black currant liqueur, topped with champagne, or another good sparkling wine. Simple, chic, or the Bellini. Fresh, white peach puree, gently mixed with chilled Prosecco. So smooth and summery. And though it uses a liqueur, the Aperol Spritz is massively popular and relies on Prosecco for its fizz and structure. Prosecco, Aperol, splash of soda, instantly festive.
Great options. Can you tailor wine cocktails to the season too?
Definitely. For summer, think light and bright. A rosé berry spritzer, dry rosé, sparkling water, berries, maybe mint. Super refreshing. Or go frozen. Moscato Frosé, basically blend frozen Moscato wine with ice and maybe some strawberries, like a grown-up slushie.
Yum. And for autumn or winter, something warmer.
Exactly. Vinho Quente or mulled wine is perfect. Red wine gently heated, not boiled, with orange, cinnamon, cloves, star anise, maybe a touch of sweetness. So comforting. Or for something richer, a port flip. Uses tawny port shaken with an egg and nutmeg. Sounds unusual, but it's creamy and delicious, served chilled.
Intriguing. So if someone wants to invent their own wine cocktails, what are the key principles?
Okay, top tips. 1. Balance is key. Think sweet, sour, bitter alcohol strength. Don't let one element dominate, especially not sugar or booze masking the wine. 2. Use fresh quality ingredients, fresh fruit, fresh juice, good base wine. It makes a huge difference.
And seasonality again?
Yes. 3. Think seasonally. Use what's fresh and fitting for the time of year. 4. Consider the wine base. A simple wine might be good canvas for more complex additions. A great wine might need just a delicate touch. 5. Explore different bases. Don't forget fortified wines, port, sherry, sweet wines, Moscato, or aromatized wines, vermouth. They add unique dimensions.
What about adding extra layers of flavor or texture?
6. Use aromatic and textural elements. A dash of bitters, homemade syrups, ginger, lavender, whole spices, fruit purees, different types of ice, even foams can add complexity. 7. Experiment, taste, adjust. This is crucial. Start small, taste as you go, write down what works, have fun with it. And finally, 8. Don't forget the garnish, a nice twist of citrus, a sprig of herbs, a sugared rim. It elevates the look and the aroma.
This has been incredibly insightful. It really drives home that wine isn't just, a beverage. It's this thread running through history, a way to tell stories, a catalyst for joy and connection. We've covered so much from history to sensory psychology, specific pairings, serving finesse, engaging tastings, even fun cocktails. It shows how thoughtful choices really elevate a celebration.
Exactly. It's not just a supporting player. Wine can be a protagonist in your celebration. It encourages laughter, deepens conversations, and helps craft those lasting memories. So the final thought is really an encouragement. Let wine weave its magic into your celebration. Let it add depth and delight. Turn your special day into an unforgettable multi-sensory experience that truly reflects the beauty of your connection. May your celebrations always be toasted with wonderful wines, and may every glass you raise be a reminder of the love you share in every aroma, every sip, and every memory you create together.